Hi everybody, how are you doing today? I'm here working and I just wanted to take a minute from what I was doing just so I can share something with you. You know, recently I've had to deal with some reality checks, I'll call them, you know, losing a loved one, etc. And usually these are times when you think about life and its meaning. All right, when I say that, I'm really trying to get us to focus on, what are some of the things we'd like to do before we die? Some people don't like to talk about death. They don't like to face the reality that one day we are going to expire. I talk about it freely because I've often said I think I have come face to face with this truth that we're not going to be here forever. So if we know that we're going to die and we know that we have a chance to make an impact while we're alive, don't you think we should actually try to do it? But more importantly, there's something that I think we try not to focus on, and that is the things we would like to fix before we die. So maybe I'll just pause with the typing for a while because I don't do multitasking very well. I thought I could. Yeah, there are people who have terrible hurt and pain bottled up that they're carrying for years. And it's not so difficult to get past that in some cases. Other cases it's harder, but let us look at simple situations where someone offends you and you could actually approach them about the offense and you did not, and then it stays there and it gets worse and you just don't realize that it's hindering you from that freedom that you could be experiencing. So let us look at people who maybe their parents have done them wrong. Some people can't get over that hurt and pain. A mother who neglects a child for whatever reason, whether they were irresponsible, whether they felt that they need to go and live their own lives and they didn't want any baggage, or maybe they left to go to another country to seek a better life and eventually they just didn't do right by that child. As a child, you're carrying that hurt and pain. Vice versa, a parent who has a child who they believe abandoned them and they try to make contact, that child isn't interested, but then you have that deep wound that you're carrying. How are you going to deal with that? We mostly sit back and we say, oh, I didn't do the person any wrong and I don't think I should go and apologize or even ask for forgiveness. And of course, there are two different things. Asking for forgiveness is different from apologizing for a wrong that you recognize that you did. But the reason I want to talk about this today, it's because I realize this is truly hindering people in a serious way. I'm going to make the statement that it is easier to forgive and experience the liberty thereafter than it is to carry the pain of hurt, rejection, disappointment, offense. It's just more rewarding when you forgive people. When you open your mouth and you say, I forgive you, you have no idea the freedom you're going to experience. Because what happens is that you have now freed not just your heart from bitterness or pain and hurt festering over the years, but now you also free that person. That person no longer becomes a debtor to you. No, I'm not preaching here, I just having a talk with you. And one of the things I thought I would ask my friends to do, or anybody who comes across this video, is to take this bold step today, or if not today, as soon as you can. Someone who you know you have been, Jamaicans say, having up in your heart or carrying around for a long time. And I'll just say, generally speaking, you are offended because of something that person did to you, whether the person knew or they are unaware. You still have that hurt. And before you die, I'm saying it's important to be able to say to that person, I forgive you. Or even if it's an apology, you say, listen, I'm sorry. Can you please forgive me? It may mean that you might have to go to a person's graveside and express yourself if that's what it takes. I like to write. So one of the things I do, I type out what I have to say sometimes because I don't want to forget anything. And I've found that in the past, I had an experience where someone did something to me and I was so hurt by it. I was so hurt, especially because of where it happened, you know, the environment in which it happened, that I didn't expect it to happen. And then I didn't know how to handle it because I felt like there was a block. So I started to type it, and funny enough, when I was done typing, I didn't feel like giving it to the person anymore, but I felt a little release. Now that didn't fix the problem because years later I still had to deal with it. But at least get it out of your system. Get it out of your system. Sometimes you can talk to people, but talking to people is not only the solution that you can explore. It's not the only solution you can explore. Why? Because sometimes you talk to other people, yes, they may give you a word of comfort, but sometimes their advice is a little too much. A little too much leaning toward the negative side, so that instead of you finding healing and solution, it's just one big gossip party, if you follow me. Yes man, the same still man. Oh yeah, you make him do that to you, and so on and so forth. You kind of have to know when to stop complaining and start taking matters in your hand and just say, listen man, I'm going to deal with this. Call up the person, tell them, I forgive you. You did this to me, I forgive you. Whether or not you knew you did me wrong, I had a pain and a hurt in my heart that I was carrying around, and I forgive you. Similarly, if you recognize that you've done somebody something harmful, or whether again intentionally or unintentionally, be quick to say I'm sorry. Saying sorry sometimes is never easy because people may misinterpret what it is that you're really saying. Some people, they think that because you say you're sorry, they did not contribute to the feud or the misgiving. They feel that you're taking full responsibility. But again, you can't even worry about what people think about you. You can't worry about what people say about you when you attempt to do what is right. Pacifying, ratifying, trying to sort out mess is never easy. But if your motive is right and your heart is right, and you literally go to people and say, I did this and I'm sorry, or please forgive me for something that I did to you, and they react and respond anyway, you don't care. Let me not lose the essence of what I'm saying in this little video. I am just simply saying, I don't even want to use the word challenge, but I'm going to put it out there. I am going to suggest to you, try today to make that phone call and say to someone, please forgive me. If it's your father who molested you, your mother who abandoned you, your uncle who raped you, your boss who did you wrong, your co-worker who offended you, your best friend who betrayed you, your child who disrespected you, a family member who stole from you, whatever it is that the offense, whatever the offense is, see if you can find it in your heart to forgive, because forgiveness is important. We have one life to live, and we have this opportunity now while we're alive to do what is right. So please, see if you can take that bold step and call up somebody today. Call someone today and say, I'm sorry for what I did, or please forgive me. you're going to see the benefit thereafter. And this has nothing to do with the person's response or reaction. It has to do with your state of mind and your heart. Jesus forgave other people, so we have to forgive them too. That's it.